Cowboys Nation, today is one of those days where football feels secondary, where the game that unites millions of us takes a back seat to something far heavier. The Dallas Cowboys family and the entire NFL community are in mourning after the heartbreaking news that defensive end Marshon Nellan has passed away at just 24 years old. It's hard to even process it, hard to put into words what everyone is feeling right now. For fans, teammates, and coaches alike, this loss hits deep. When a young player full of drive, potential, and heart is suddenly gone, it reminds us all that behind the pads and helmets, these athletes are human beings with families, dreams, and people who love them. The Cowboys released an official statement this morning, sharing that Marshon Nellan tragically passed away and that the organization's thoughts and prayers are with his girlfriend Catalina and his family. It was a message filled with pain, but also with respect for who Marshon was, not just as a player, but as a person. Everyone who had the chance to be around him talked about his energy, his love for the game, and how much effort he poured into becoming better every single day. Nellan's agent also released a statement that showed just how much he meant to the people closest to him. His words reflected admiration, heartbreak, and pride. He talked about how Marshon's journey wasn't easy, how he came from Western Michigan with a dream and turned that dream into reality, earning his place as a respected professional on one of the most storied franchises in the NFL. Those who knew him described him as a fighter, a kid who never took a shortcut, who brought everything he had in every snap, every practice, every chance he got to be on the field. It's difficult to imagine what his teammates must be going through right now. Many of them have already shared messages on social media, expressing how gutted they feel. The team is currently on their bye week, which means they're not at the facility, but the emotional impact of this tragedy will stay with them long after they return. It's not just about losing a player. It's about losing a brother, someone they shared the grind of the season with, someone they celebrated and struggled alongside. Head coach Mike Zimmer also shared a few words that really hit home. He spoke about Marshon as a great person, eager to learn, always pushing to be great, never afraid to stand his ground on the field. Zimmer said his last conversation with Marshon was simple but meaningful. Keep being great. You're going to have a great career. And that's what makes this even harder, because everyone could see how bright his future was. For many fans, one of the most unforgettable moments of Marshon's young career came during that game against the Arizona Cardinals, when he recovered a blocked punt in the end zone for a touchdown. That moment captured everything he brought to the game: instinct, hustle, and joy. Even though his time on the field was cut short by injuries and circumstances, he still managed to leave a memory that will live on in Cowboys history. Marshon was selected in the second round of the 2024 NFL Draft, coming out of Western Michigan. From the moment he arrived in Dallas, he carried himself with professionalism and humility. He turned 24 just a few months ago, in July. Still so young, still learning, still growing. It's tragic to think of all the years ahead of him that were taken away so suddenly. The NFL also released a statement expressing deep sadness and support for the Cowboys organization, Marshon's family, Catalina, and his teammates. The league mentioned that they're in touch with the team and providing counseling and resources for anyone affected. It's a reminder that, while the NFL is a massive business, it's also a community. When something like this happens, everyone feels it. Every locker room across the league feels it. Right now, the focus isn't on what this means for the Cowboys on the field, and honestly, it shouldn't be. Football will always be there, but a life has been lost, and that outweighs everything else. The team, the fans, and the football world are united in grief and respect. Details about what exactly happened haven't been released yet, and that's okay. This isn't the time to speculate or chase rumors. There's a lot of noise on social media, as always, but this is one of those moments when the best thing we can do is wait for official information and respect the privacy of the people who loved him most. Imagine how awful it must be for a family to learn about a tragedy through a random online post before it's even confirmed. That's why patience and compassion matter, now more than ever. The Cowboys organization made it clear that the family's wishes will be respected, and that any updates about memorials or funeral services will come at the right time. Until then, The most important thing fans can do is simply keep Marshon's family and loved ones in their thoughts. For anyone who's been hit hard by this news, it's okay to feel that way. Loss has a way of shaking people, even if they've never met the person personally. And for the players in that locker room, the coaches and the staff, this week will be about more than football. It will be about healing, about checking in on one another, and about remembering what really matters. Sometimes in sports, we get caught up in wins, losses, stats, contracts, and drama. But moments like this remind us of the humanity that connects all of it. These athletes put everything on the line, not just their bodies, but their hearts. They chase a dream that demands everything from them. And when something like this happens, it breaks through the noise and reminds us that these players are sons, brothers, fathers, friends, people who love and are loved. The outpouring of support has already been huge, from players across the league, from fans, from alumni who wore the star before him. Everyone recognizing that this is bigger than football, because it is. It's about honoring a young man who gave his all and celebrating the moments he gave us. If you take one thing away from today, maybe let it be this: check on your friends. Check on your family. If you're struggling, if something feels off, reach out. There's no shame in asking for help. It doesn't make you weak. It shows strength. It shows you care about yourself enough to not carry it alone. Today, Cowboys Nation stands together. Heartbroken, yes, but united in love for Marshon Nellan and the people who knew him best. His time was far too short, but his impact, his energy, and his memory will stay with us. The image of him celebrating in the end zone, the smile, the fire in his eyes, that's what we'll hold on to. That's the Marshon Nellan we'll remember. As the shock of Marshon Nellan's passing continues to settle in, the reality of it feels almost unreal. Around the Cowboys facility, the tone has shifted entirely. Coaches, players, and staff are leaning on each other, trying to process something that no one ever expects to deal with. For many of these young men, this might be the first time they've lost someone they spent every day with, someone who shared the locker room laughs, the sweat, the endless hours of practice and travel. It's not just the silence left behind. It's the feeling that a piece of the family is gone. You can imagine how hard this must be for the Cowboys' defensive unit, especially those who lined up next to Marshon on the field. He wasn't the loudest voice in the room, but he was respected. He had that quiet determination that you can't fake. Guys noticed how he showed up every day ready to work, even when his body hurt or when injuries limited him. He didn't complain, didn't ask for special treatment. He just wanted to get better, to prove he belonged, to make his mark. That kind of attitude doesn't go unnoticed in a team like the Cowboys, where competition is fierce and expectations are sky high. Inside the locker room, teammates are sharing memories that show who Marshon really was beyond the jersey. Stories of how he'd crack jokes during long film sessions, how he'd stay after practice to help rookies with technique, how he'd always be the first one to congratulate someone else after a big play. It's those little moments that end up meaning everything when someone is gone. Everyone remembers the touchdown against Arizona. Sure, but it's the behind-the-scenes kindness that sticks with people most. The Cowboys organization has reportedly been providing grief counseling and support resources to anyone who needs it, and that's exactly what should happen. Grief doesn't follow a schedule. It doesn't care about the bye week or the next opponent. The players have been encouraged to take time, to talk, to reach out. For a team built on toughness, this is a moment that reminds everyone that emotional strength is just as important as physical toughness. Around the league, tributes have been pouring in. Players who faced Marshon on the field, former college teammates, and coaches who crossed paths with him have all taken a moment to honor him. Some shared old photos, others shared messages about his work ethic and his smile. Even rival fans have come together to express their condolences. It's one of those rare times where football rivalries disappear and humanity takes over. Fans who attended training camp in Oxnard last summer remember how Marshon would stay after practice, signing autographs for kids, talking to fans, laughing with teammates. He wasn't one to rush off or act like a star. He carried himself with humility, understanding that wearing that star on his helmet was something special. That attitude resonated with people. He represented what fans want to see in their players: effort, passion, and respect for the game. It's easy to talk about the statistics, the draft pick, the highlight plays. But what made Marshon special wasn't just what he did on the field. It was the way he carried himself through everything. Coming from Western Michigan, he wasn't from one of those powerhouse football programs that get all the national attention. He had to fight for every bit of recognition, for every chance to prove he could play at the highest level. And when he got that opportunity with Dallas, he didn't take a single moment for granted. His journey was a story of perseverance. From college to the NFL, he battled injuries that could have broken his spirit, but he kept going. Coaches talked about how he'd show up early to meetings, stay late in the gym, study film constantly. He wanted to be great, not just good, and he knew greatness comes from discipline. That kind of mentality is what sets apart players who just pass through from those who leave a legacy, even if their time is short. Right now, there's still a lot that hasn't been said publicly about what exactly happened, and that's okay. Respecting privacy in moments like this is crucial. What matters most is honoring his life and giving space to the people who loved him most to grieve without pressure, without speculation, without judgment. When the time is right, details will come out, but until then, the focus should remain on remembering the person behind the name. It's been said that grief is love with nowhere to go, and you can feel that sentiment all over the Cowboys community right now. The love for Marshon is overflowing, from teammates, coaches, and fans who never even met him personally. That love will find ways to express itself, whether through tributes on the field, patches on uniforms, or moments of silence before games. Because football teams are families, and when one member is lost, the rest carry his memory forward. In the coming weeks, when the Cowboys return to the field, you can bet that Martian spirit will be with them. Every defensive snap, every celebration, every time the team lines up, his presence will be felt. Sometimes, moments like these ignite something within a team, a sense of purpose beyond the game itself. Playing for Marshon will mean playing with heart, with gratitude, and with the understanding that every moment is precious. Fans across the country have also been finding their own ways to pay tribute through messages, artwork, and even simple words of support. It's a reminder of how sports can connect people through shared emotion. We may cheer for the plays and the victories, but it's the human stories, the moments of resilience and loss, that truly bring us together. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In what could be the NFL's most surprising move of the offseason, the Dallas Cowboys have reportedly shaken the American football world by announcing that they are signing British defensive end EFE OBADA, formerly of the Washington Commanders. Sources close to the team hint that the deal is more than just a publicity stunt. It could signal a serious push by the Cowboys to bolster their defensive line with international talent, an approach rarely seen in the league's top-tier franchises. Fans and analysts alike were caught off guard. OBADA, who has long been admired for his relentless work ethic and remarkable story of rising through European leagues to make it in the NFL, brings not just experience, but a unique flair to the game. While some see the move as a strategic attempt to add depth to Dallas' pass rush, others are speculating whether the signing is as much about marketing and global branding as it is about on-field performance. Either way, the chatter on social media has been relentless, with British sports outlets and NFL fan pages lighting up with excitement over what could be a historic moment for European players in America's football heartland. The Cowboys front office has remained tight-lipped, fueling the rumor mill further. Insiders suggest that team executives are convinced OBADA's combination of speed, agility, and raw power could be exactly what the squad needs to make a deep playoff run next season. Meanwhile, Washington fans are left in disbelief, with many taking to forums to express shock that one of their most enigmatic defensive talents could be heading to a direct rival. Even NFL pundits are weighing in, debating whether OBADA's signing represents a bold gamble or a masterstroke. If the defensive end can replicate, or even exceed, his previous form, The Cowboys could not only improve their defensive stats, but also make a statement that the NFL is increasingly open to international stars making an impact. For now, the rumor is spreading faster than any preseason hype, and one thing is certain. EFE OBADA in a Cowboys jersey is a storyline no fan will want to miss. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.